Good morning. Welcome to Friday Takeaway. I'm Khoo, Chuang, joined by Sulhi, Azman. Today is the 252nd day of the year, 113 days left to work. I don't know why you keep track of these days,
I don't
Max.
know, Chuang. I think it's just a matter of fact that we are going to track whether you have achieved the resolution that you have made early
I
this
always
year.
break my resolutions, but
Did
no
you?
matter. Yes. Okay. Anyway, it's been a week of economic data. But before we get into those numbers, let's just talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in the general news. And this week, the anti-corruption drive in the country has really been gathering steam.
Right.
We saw the chairman and chief executive of Bank Rakyat being hauled in and charged in the sessions court for CBT. Amazing.
Yes. Criminal breach of trust,
Yes.
involving 15 million ringgit sum, and this is, they are going after bigger fish compared to smaller ones.
Yeah, the MACC and of course the lawmakers have been accused of going after sardines and minnows in the last few years. It seems as if maybe the net is getting wider.
Now, Chuang, this is very interesting because Bank Rakyat literally means the Rakyat's bank, so
That's
when
right.
you actually steal something from Bank Rakyat. Means that
Allegedly,
okay, this is very interesting. Now, Apple has launched their new iPhone 7. Are you optimistic, Chuang? I don't think so.
I'm always optimistic, and no, we're not talking about Saiful or camera guy. It's Apple, the PC computer,
right?
The hardware and software technology company that is also the most valuable company in the world. They launched the iPhone 7, no headphone jack, water resistant, better camera, said to be 30 or 40% better than the previous camera. Good news for them, but whether it's going to turn around the fortunes, who knows? Yes,
correct. Last quarter, the quarterly profit fell by 27% for Apple Inc. Who knows, whether this is going to be a catalyst for them.
Correct. The iPhone, the iPad, the iPhone, the Mac as well, are all in decline. Some people say they're not as innovating as fast as they were before. We shall see. Okay, some corporate activities this week. Exports were unexpectedly down. July was down by something like 5.5%. The May number was also down in the negative territory. Of course, June was slightly in the positive, but people were expecting exports to do a lot better. It didn't.
Well, Chuang, trade surplus narrowed to 1.9 billion ringgit, and this is a sign that global growth is actually slowing.
Correct, and at least, however, the silver lining is that, and you always call me pessimistic, Max. I'm not, okay?
I'm just saying,
Malaysia remains in trade surplus to the number of 44 billion ringgit for the year.
Right,
but
a record that we have to be proud of, I suppose.
Correct, it's been untrammeled for the last X number of years. But the global slowdown is showing because exports to China was the biggest drag, Japan was another major drag, shipments to the EU was also down. The only bright spark was exports to ASEAN and America.
Yes, correct. And of course, we talk about the ASEAN story, and I think everybody seems to be believing in it, and including you, Chuang, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm trying not to be too pessimistic.
All right, okay. Anyway, moving on to Bank Negara, Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim and also the Monetary Policy Committee has kept the OPR unchanged at 3%.
Yeah, 3.0%. I think they're adopting a wait-and-see approach. The last number, that we saw in the second quarter GDP was right on the dot at 4.0%.
Right.
That's okay, compared to the rest of the world, which is moribund. But the Bank Negara Monetary Policy Committee, they got one more meeting in November for 2016. Most people expect them to cut by 25 basis points then because of where the economy is going. And we just talked about how exports are slowing. Domestic demand has got to keep up. If it doesn't, and we saw how today, or rather overnight, developers will be become money lenders to potential house buyers.
So the idea of the great Tan Sri Omar, your friend.
That's right. Your friend, our friend.
Our friend. All right, okay. Telco earnings, Chuang, it is in the doldrums. Industry mobile service revenue fell by further 2.4% quarter on quarter in the second quarter of this year. Yeah,
and guess what? Digi is now the number 2, not the number 3, but the number 2. Celcom has had a torrid time. Maxis is still the number 1 player, but they've had their market share eroded by a great deal. Very, very quickly, let's look at Bursa Malaysia. A week ago, they were trading at 1,672 points. Today, they're at 1,685, just 7 points lower. Week on week, a small increase of less than 1%, but on the year, down a half percentage point.
Right, okay, and of course we got the indicators for the economy, the oil price, the WTI oil price is 47 and 62 ringgit per US dollar per barrel. Aberrant events, Chuang, this is what you wrote here.
Aberrant.
Right, okay, it's like potato and potato, right? Tropical storms and Hurricane Hermine combines to slow the movement of oil tankers and shut in offshore drilling.
That's right, but Brent is a shade under $50 a barrel. Okay, let's move on to specific stocks, and I've chosen two this week because I felt that they're really good examples of the theory of mean reversion in play. And the first stock is AirAsia. Now remember AirAsia, really flying high. They're 202% up on the 1 year basis. And
investors must be cheering.
They must
you
be cheering.
must be laughing all the way to the bank.
No lah, I don't know.
I mean, whoever has the share or owns the share price in it.
AirAsia, yeah. So remember, that wasn't that long ago. There was a bad report out from Hong Kong,
right? GMT
saying
research,
correct? GMT research and all kinds of problems. But in the last few months, they really turned the ship around. They've got news flow such as like plans to sell the aircraft leasing unit in December. That could raise as much as $1 billion. They might pay a special div on the back of that. They also can use that money to pay reduced debts. Lots of stuff.
They also strengthened their the organization staff. They recently promoted the CFO to become the deputy CEO, reporting to group founder and CEO Tan Sri Tony Fernandes. Rosman Omar, the guy name.
Correct. So that might strengthen the core domestic business in Malaysia. And they've also rented 2 Airbus A330s from Indonesia AirAsia to improve network. So they don't actually have to buy craft. They just loan it from the other subsidiaries. So today, $2.90 for AirAsia. See how far they can go. The other stock which really bounced back from really bad, from a very bad situation a few months ago was Felda Global Ventures. Nobody wanted to touch the stock with the 10-yard pole. Went down all the way to $1.40. I think they listed at $4.50 or something in 2012, the same year that Facebook launched.
Listing.
And ever since Dato' Zakaria Arshad came in as the new CEO, he's really tried to turn the ship around. He's been selling assets, he's been paring costs. It's really showing through in the share price because it's up 88% on the 1 year basis and 30% on the year-to-date basis.
Yeah, and of course, about Dato' Zakaria Arshad, right? People are saying that he's a planter's son, so
he's
he
a planter's
knows
son, that's right.
what is going on in Felda and how to turn it around. And of course, it is still loss-making, Chuang, to the tune of 3.3 million ringgit in the first half of this year.
Yep, correct. According to Kanaga, first half core net loss was at 47 million ringgit, below consensus profits. So, obviously, operationally, things are still a bit tough, but hopefully, Dato' Zakaria can turn it around. There's also the whole prospect of La Nina, where, of course, we can see now cooler weather from the hot weather, lots of rainfall from no rainfall. That also wreaks havoc with production and, of course, yields as well, which always has a good effect on prices.
Right.
Next week is another short week. I think Monday is Hari Raya Korban.
Yes.
Friday is Malaysia. It's all right. Hari Raya Haji.
Of course, and and we wish all the Muslims Selamat Hari Raya Haji for that. And of course, on the Wednesday we have the Hari Malaysia. Now, Chuang,
is it Friday or when Friday?
Friday, right? And I believe that you are one patriotic guy.
I'm hugely patriotic.
Right, always optimistic about the country's growth. Right. Okay. And of course, we will see economic data to continue color the week for the next week, and of course some earnings of some small companies.
Exactly. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you want more, to go to the Edge Daily, theedgemarkets.com, or get the hard copy papers, all good newsstands. Thank you for watching. I was of course joined by Sulhi, Azman. I'm Khoo. Good night and good luck.
And stay optimistic like Chuang.